Bonecrusher, let me tell you something right now. We're about to have a fantastic, outstanding elevation of life, ladies and gentlemen. Here, with my friend, Jack Driller, at JackDriller.com. It's about to be amazing. Y'all stay locked in. We can talk about some real things.
If you're trying to find a website where it's going down all night, motherfucker, Jack Driller. Jack Driller. Motherfucking Jack Driller. Nigga, Jack Driller. Driller.com.
All right, what's up, man? Welcome to JackDriller.com, Bonecrusher.
Hey, man, I'm glad to be here.
I mean, it's been a long time, and we were trying to get together and make something shake.
Yeah, man.
I remember the first time that I ever seen you in real life. It was at this club off Peachtree, and you were performing. I want to say Ghostface was on the show too, and it was Visions.
Oh yeah, man, Vision.
Yeah, it was at Visions. It was one of the best shows I ever seen in my life. I had a really great time, and it was this girl I was trying to dance with and stuff, and she didn't want to dance with me. She was so fine. Oh my God, I think I was like 20 years old, 19 or 20 or something like that. I'll never forget, I'm 39 now.
Oh, yeah, man.
I don't know what she's doing now, but if you out there watching, you know, never mind, she probably fell off. But anyway, this was a very monumental night for me, man.
Hey.
And I wanted to open up with this. You was outside of the club, and niggas thought you was a punk. Did you say that to yourself, or did you say it just as boisterous as you do on the song?
Hey, man, I've always been that guy though, man. Like people, like I never thought about it in a way where people would try me like that, but. You know, if they ever try me, that's the way I would think about it. Like, you know, like you think I'm outside club, man. You think I'm a sucker or something, so I ain't no motherfucker. And I took it and made it into a melody because I made it like where people would think about it as like you outside of whatever it is you're going through. You know what I mean? The industry, as an MC, you can't get on. You know, everybody can get on 16 and better.
No,
right. Right. So they like, man, I'm good too. And that was the premise of the whole ideology of it was that, you know, I'm as good as everybody else or better. So if y'all think I'm outside here playing, I'm gonna let y'all see that I ain't.
And it's funny, even as you say that, you know, one of the biggest misconceptions when you just listen to your music and whatnot, you're not expecting you to be as articulate as you wanted to be more. You expected you to be more thugged out, and you think that's one of the reasons why that you felt people are overlooking and underestimating. It's because I'm intelligent,
right?
And these motherfuckers, they think I'm soft because I'm intelligent,
right?
You taking me for granted because I'm not talking in slang and some more shit. You sizing me up all the way the wrong way.
Right. You know, but I'm a thug too, though. I'm an intelligent thug.
Hey, and that's the scariest kind.
Yeah. So I've always been that guy, though, Jack. I've always been the guy that's real articulate, but when I get mad, I turn to something else. You know, not hawkish, but more crusherous. You know, just monstrous, and I get real angry. I have two extremes. You know, really nice. Or I'm like crazy.
That's my thing too, man.
Hey, man, that is. It's a big man thing.
It's a big man thing. It's definitely. Cause I was explaining that to my old lady and whatnot. Cause you know, it's we have a mutual friend that kind of takes my kindness for blindness.
Oh.
And I'm really kind.
Right.
But it can go all the way left
Right.
to it to be that extreme, and I don't even want them to see that side of me and whatnot. And I try my best every day. Happy thoughts. I post up puppies and animals and whatnot, and feed myself positive images so I can stay inside of a certain space. I don't hang out everywhere because I know those type of elements can, you know, whatever can happen will happen, right?
Right.
Yeah. So you have to protect your energy, and if you know it's gonna be something wild over here going on,
right,
man, that's still clear. It ain't nothing wrong with it.
That's right.
We can still have some good old fashioned fun. to ourselves.
Right.
And ain't nothing wrong with that. Being alone makes you strong. Pop said that.
Hey man, being alone is everything.
Yeah.
You know, but you by yourself, you can think better.
100%.
Yeah, man.
And I was telling somebody yesterday a quote from Robin Williams, and because one of the biggest misconceptions when you celebrity, and people just think that I got all these friends and all this other stuff. But Robin Williams said, what's worse than being alone is being around people that make you feel alone.
Woo, that's real talk there.
Can you elaborate on that?
Hey man, it's to your point. I had to cut down my circle so much because I only hang around my girl and maybe 2 or 3 other people, right? And the reason for that is the worst thing, to your point, the worst thing is to be around a whole bunch of people and you don't know nobody, right? Everybody know you, but you don't know them. And I mean, I remember one time, man, I was actually in New York, and I was in a club, and Arista threw me a party, and it was a whole bunch of people in the VIP section with me. I ain't know none of them. I knew like 2 people from the A&R department. I think Sean Peckus was there.
Yeah.
And but other than that, I ain't know nobody. And I was like, man, boy, I don't know none of these people, and this feel weird to me. I'm a Southern boy, and I believe in friendships and connecting to people and being human around people. And if I can't be cool with you and I don't know you, then I definitely can't be cool with you. So I had to learn. I learned real fast, man, that being around a bunch of people, and if it jump off in here and I don't know nobody in here, I'm fighting everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very difficult to be around people that want everything from you too. And I've dealt with that too, man. Helping people all the time, man. A bunch of people around me helping them and trying to look out for them, and they take all that and run off, and I never see them again. And that part is hurtful and damaging and it's traumatic. But especially when you think they're your friends.
Yeah.
That's the worst part.
Yeah.
That party wasn't that bad because I ain't know nobody. The crazy part is you got people around you think you cool with
that you do know.
Oh man, you think we brothers? We gonna do this all together. We gonna do this, and then when it's time we get on, we gonna, and then it's all smoke and mirrors, and that part is crazy.
Malcolm X said he could always conceive the ideal of death, but he could never just wrap his mind around betrayal.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because you round these folks all the time and not knowing that they're not even your friend. They don't even fuck with you like that.
Man, narcissism is real. And most narcissists will find an enabler, which I was at the time, a person that is willing to help and don't want nothing back, and they'll find that person and leech off of them as long as possible till they don't need them no more. And I ran into a lot of people like that, man, and they would get what they want from me, and it would run off and do all kind of stuff and bad mouth you and all. Like, man, you know what? So for a long time, man, I just stayed away from the industry. I'm coming back, but I stayed away for a while because I didn't understand the rules and regulations of the industry from that perspective. I was more of a street cat.
Right.
So it was rules and regulations to the street. Rules and regulations to, do what you say you're gonna do. Ethics, morals, understanding. And if you break those rules, there's punishment. But there's really no punishment in the music business because how do you punish them? And what do you do? Because I'm not going to jail for this foolishness. So I had to figure out a way to just kind of step away and figure out my space. And to your point, back to your point earlier, my circle got so small, that's when I got stronger. Because I knew the people around me were 1,000. And those people prepared me for my return to the industry, to the business, to watch out for narcissists, to watch out for leeches, to watch out for people that are always at me. And that whole time though, Jack, man, I was happy the whole time, man. It's crazy, man, because I'm the kind of guy, man.
You were happy to be used?
No, I was happy to be me. My problem is, Jack, and I had to learn this lesson, is I'm foolishly understanding and love my people so much that I allow them to do that to me, right? And what happens is when you love your people so much, you let them use you to a point. You're like, well, wait a minute, man. You're my brother, so how could you do this to me? How could you put me in this position? How could you make me feel this way? It's like, man, you feel so betrayed. And I felt real betrayed as a human, man. Like, man, I didn't treat you like that, man. So why'd you treat me like that? And I became this person that I didn't like. And that's when I stepped away. And people were like, man, where you been, boss? And man, I've been writing. I wrote on country albums. I wrote gold country albums, platinum country albums. I wrote on other platinum albums. I wrote all kind of stuff. I did movies. I'm doing 9 movies. I actually starred in a movie, co-starred in a movie with Tamala Jones 2 years ago. Last year, 2 years ago.
I love Tamala.
On TV One. You know, Daily Dispatch.
Daily Dispatch.
Daily Dispatch, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's right up her alley. She got that demeanor.
Oh man, no, Tamala good people. You crazy.
No. What I'm saying, she could play that character. I believe her.
Right.
Yeah.
She actually played my best friend in the movie. Yeah, I get killed.
A good crazy best friend.
Nah, she was the kind of person that we're talking about that got your back.
Wow.
Yeah, she was 1,000 in the movie, man. She stuck by my side even in death. Yeah, which is crazy, man. And you know, my wife and me, man, when we do business together in our consulting firm, Crusher Consulting, we teach that, you know, ethics.
Ethics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ethics, business ethics.
Okay.
Sticking by the code.
Okay.
Knowing that there's rules and regulations. And if you're going to do this, we have to do this right. If we're going to work together, if we're not building each other up, then we can't work together. So that's been my whole thing these last few years, man. I just learning how to love myself directly, learning how to let nobody use me again, because I don't know how to handle that. You know what I mean? Because I'm ready to fight, and I don't know if you know anything about me, Jack, but I can fight. I'm a monster when it comes to fighting, and
I get the vibe.
Yeah. So I
think we're kindred spirits in that way. I think we can feel each other.
Yeah. Exactly. You know, so I never, you know, I didn't know how to not be Adamsville Big Wayne. So I just stepped away. And once I learned how to maintain and kept my composure and say, hey man, listen, this is all smoke and mirrors. Now let's go back and attack. That's when I got in the gym. I lost 150 pounds. I started getting myself ready. My album is crazy. You know, I went back and got some of my best friends, DJ Toon, Drummer Boy, Jazzy Faye. They helped me produce.
Oh, you stacked it up.
Yeah, they helped me produce on the record. And it's a monster record, man. It's a monster
Hold
record.
on, so are you saying that you produce also?
No, I don't produce. I rap. I rap on. Yeah, I rap the song on that.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's I can't wait people to hear it. It's gonna be monstrous.
I'm excited.
Yeah. And it's about that, self-love.
Oh, you get deep.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna show people who I really am. I started out as with the lyrical giants. You about to see the real lyrical side of Bonecrusher.
Okay. And did you feel like back in the day that you had to dumb it down, and it just probably wasn't ready for it, and right now you think it's, or you feel, you at this place because it's free for all, or is this something that you just ready to do on your own?
You know, I've always been the guy that tried to hold back the creative side of who I am, because I was always perceived as this monstrous dude,
Larger than life.
So when you're a kid and you don't really know how to be assertive in the way that you want to present yourself, you sometimes fall into the trap of being a kid. You know, and I'm no different than anybody else, man. I'm very influenced by the super influence with some of my peers at the time. And I did a lot of fighting, and I act a certain kind of way because that was expected of me. So, but at home, I was a scholar. You know, we had literary debates. My grandparents would teach me history, politics. Me and my sister would have witty banter against each other, be able to go outside and play. So that's the side that people are going to see. And I grew up around music all my life. I've been singing all my life. I've been doing the grooves, enjoying sounds and rhythms, and you know, algorithms and just the vibe of the world, man. I've been on that for a long time, man. I even think my album is indicative of the type of person that I am, and it's I just can't wait people to see it, and hear it, and feel it, and understand it. You know what I'm saying, Jack? It's about to be outstanding.
What are you inspired by?
Me?
Yeah. And let's talk from when you were younger.
Yeah.
And then let's talk about today.
When I was a kid, I was inspired by. I was inspired by my grandparents.
Really?
Yeah, man. I love my grandparents.
Yeah, man, I ain't inspired by my grandparents, but I love them.
Yeah.
But I wasn't inspired.
I was inspired by them.
I was scared of mine.
Yeah, well, I was scared of mine too, but it was more of a respect, fear. But my grandparents taught me everything I'm telling you right now. My grandparents taught me code, ethics, rational thinking, being able to reason with people, being intellectual, preparing myself for the future. Every day I would get some type of quiz on life. What are you thinking? Who are you thinking about? What's going on with your brain? Are you ready? You walk outside these doors. Are you prepared? Yeah, I'm ready, Pop. I didn't know what it was when I was a kid. Just say, yeah, I'm ready. You can go out the door. Not knowing that that was going to be, the kind of person I would be later on in life. But when I was a kid, man, it was my uncles, my cousins, my dad, my mom, my grandparents. I looked up to all of them.
You super family oriented. It sounds like something that is going on to this day even with you. Family is everything.
Everything.
Okay.
Even when I got disciplined, it's everything. Everything, man. Without my family,
you discipline the grown folks too?
Yeah. Without my family, I'm nothing. And I ain't above being disciplined because we have to be accountable, right? Nobody's perfect.
My favorite word.
Yeah, we have to be accountable. Yeah. And that part of it that's the core of who I am. So when I was a kid, that's what I looked up to, man, my family. And not the kids on the street, not them. I always looked to my family, man. But I like to hang out because I was still a kid. But I was my parents, man. That's why I would only go so far. That's why I never sold dope. That's why I never shot nobody. That's why I never did none of that. I would fight because I knew fighting was a minimalist space I could be in to keep the rep. So I don't know nothing about dope. People are like, man, you must so dope. Nah, I don't know nothing about dope, bro. All I know how to do is throw these handles. These right here, cinder blocks. That's it.
I'm glad you speaking on what you just spoke on, and I have this argument with people all the time because I never was into that growing up either because my family I knew right from wrong, and then if I didn't get it from them, I watched enough TV to know when I'm doing something wrong or when he's doing something wrong that could take me to a space where I ain't want to be in.
Right.
And when somebody really blames their environment on doing why they sell dope or why they kill folks and blah blah blah, I think it's bullshit. Myself, I think when you amongst it.
Right.
I was just arguing, debating with my old lady like a week ago about somebody had just got killed in New York. This old drug dealer dude and whatnot. And to me, I felt like he knew what he was doing. But a lot of people say, he was young when he did this and da. He ain't really know nobody. He hung around these times. Yes, you did. I feel like I think that's bullshit.
Right. I tell you what. My thoughts on that is that a lot of times people, if your parents ain't around you a lot, or someone that's cares about you, you can stray. And not saying you don't have a conscious mind, by no means, but you could stray. And if you don't know that you're loved, that can cause a lot of pain for you.
I ain't think about it like that.
Yeah, that can cause a lot of pain for you, man. That's a lot of trauma. I don't care who you are, bro.
Wow.
If you ain't loved right, you in trouble. And if you don't know that someone really loves you, no matter who it is, it could be your cousin, your auntie, or it ain't gotta be your mama and your dad. Somebody gotta love on you, right? Somebody got to tell you, hey, listen, man, think a little bit before you do that, right? And yeah, I mean, you could stray, you could become a killer quick because you lose your touch with humanity. You start to think that no one cares, so why should you? You know, and I've been around a lot of people like that in my younger years, bro. And that's why I said earlier that I look up to my parents so much, because without my parents, I could have lost that touch too. I could have became that monster. I could have became that thug. I could have became that killer. But because of my parents and my family, I would only go so far. There was a ceiling for me, right? Because I never wanted to disappoint them, but I still didn't want to be a lame either. So I would fight a little bit, you know, because I was born with this extraordinary strength. But I would only go so far with it, you know. But I would always be like, nah, I ain't selling no dope to my people because that kills them. But if a dude run up on me, I'm knocking him out. That'll keep me straight in the street, right? So nobody try to run up on me. So, you know, my grandparents would always tell me, man, they would always show me, you know, how drugs would destroy the community. My grandparent, my pop, my uncle, they would ride me around to the dope holes and let me see them, traps. Let me see them like, yo, listen, see that right there? Don't never do that to your people, ever. I said, you know what? You're right, Pop, I ain't gonna do that. You're right, Unc, I ain't gonna do that. And that part kept me away from that part of the street life. But I had to, because I'm from the Ville, so I was not about to get pumped by nobody. So I had to, but I think that people, when you're not loved correctly, man, and nobody gave you a hug, nobody told you before you left out the door, hey man, I love you, dog. You can, bruh, that's dangerous. You can leave out the house, man, on some other shit. Real talk. You can be like, man, my parents don't care about me. If your mama and daddy don't like you, you in trouble, bro.
You just changed me. You just changed me right there. You're right. You gotta have somebody to give a damn about you.
You got to.
Because if you leave it up to the devil and let him give a damn about you through whatever vessel he uses, anytime it can go a whole nother way.
Man, you'll go a whole other way. Jack, somebody in your life told you that they loved you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they did.
Right.
Yes,
so
they did.
now when you walk out the door,
I love myself.
there you go.
And I won't compromise myself
Man,
either,
man.
you know, no matter what's going on. If it's got something to do with hurting someone or whatnot, and doing some gossiping and all that, anything that has to do with anything negative,
Right.
I ain't with it, man.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been around some pretty powerful people and worked for them too.
Yeah.
That even when they were doing shit that I knew that wasn't cool, could
Right.
beat me from down south, I was taught better than I raised in the church, and you know the difference.
Amen.
You know the difference.
That's the key difference. You know the difference.
Yeah.
Whereas a person like those guys from the
You're
street,
right.
they
You're
don't know
right.
the difference.
You're right.
You know, they go home, man. Shit, they might go home to getting busted in the head with a bat or smacked or you know, verbally abused all day. Man, you can't function like that, bro. Nah, I don't care what nobody say, bro. Mental disease has destroyed our community more than anything. You know, the ability to watch our people hurt themselves, kill themselves. That's why on this new album, man, I'm not talking about none of that. No more Neva Scared, no more nothing, you know. And Neva Scared to me was a triumph record because that's what I felt at the moment I wrote it. Right? When I was sitting on the porch, fixing the hook on that thing and writing the hook on that thing, you know, I was like, yo, man, it's crazy. The crazy part about it, I wrote it in a Youngblood session at Big Oomp House, right? I was writing it, the Youngbloods had a beat going, and I was just writing, I was singing that hook to the beat. Then I went back to my house, I was on the porch, and was singing a hook on the porch. I was like, man, you know what? I was like, da da da, ba da ba ba da ba ba. My boy Avery called me, who was right down the street from me, walking distance. At the time, I was broke as a joke, living on $20 a day. Didn't have no money, man. I was trying to feed my kids off of that. It was crazy.
Now, how many kids you had
Well, I had
at that time?
two. I had one that I made and one kid that was mine, and the other kids, I had 3 more kids that were step kids, and I raised all of them. But
you got a lot of love to give.
I got a lot of love to give.
Wow.
I've always had. I got a lot of love to give, man. Radiant energy of life is what I'm all about. You know. So, but I was sitting on the porch, man, and I was just sitting there. I said to myself, "Man, this is crazy." I just kept singing it, and then Avery called me. He said, "Man, come on down, man, I got this beat." Went down there, and I morphed the hook into the beat. That's why it's got that. Bum, 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 bum. The beat. Boom, 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 boom. You know, what I do is, I've always, and you'll hear on this new album, what I do is I'm married to the beat. I feel what every nook and cranny of the algorithm is, and I feel the rhythm and vibe of the sound, right? I don't know why I have this in me, and I follow the groove at all times, right? And what I figured out is that if I make sure the groove jams hard enough, and I'm talking about something that means something, it'll be timeless. And that's why Neva Scared is timeless, because all I would do, man, and I still do this to this day, all I do is listen to listen to forever trending grooves, right? The grooves that people say is old school, I listen to them all day. They ain't old. You know why they ain't old? Because we listen to them all the time, right? Records from the 60s, 70s, 80s, I listen to them all the time. Why? Because they still playing them, right? They still playing these records. They still playing these sounds. I'm like, man, ain't nobody listening to this. Man, y'all crazy. So that's all I listen to all day. Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, Isley Brothers, Phyllis Hyman, George Benson,
Curtis Mayfield,
James Brown,
Donny Hathaway.
Yeah, Donny Hathaway, Layla Hathaway. You know, I listen to the Emotions. I'm listening to everything.
Temptation.
The Temptation. I'm listening to it all. Why? Because I'm studying. I'm still a student of the game. I'm steady studying. I'm studying. And as long as I'm studying, I'm like, man, this is it. And I took every beat that I chose for the album and married each one of them. I can't wait for people to hear this album, man. I can't wait for people to hear it. I'll just hear some of it before we leave.
Okay.
Man, I can't wait for people to hear it. It's monstrous. It's people always say it's their best work. I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say it's a spiritual, my spiritual contribution to the music business, to the world. I want you guys to love it. I want you guys to listen to it and understand it and know where it's going. And I hope people heal by listening to it. Real talk. And it's jamming at the end of the day. This ain't no soapbox music. This is the kind of music you're gonna be in a club like, I can't believe this dude figured out how to say this over this beat. Good Lord, it's monstrous. How do you do it? I'm me. That's what it is, Jack.
100%. How did you know to put Tip on Neva Scared?
I used to bodyguard Tip. I used to bodyguard a lot of people. Yeah, man, come on.
I never heard this story before.
Jack, I used to bodyguard T.I. when in our younger years. Lil John too. Yeah, I used to bodyguard a lot of people. Yeah.
With always aspirations to do music.
I was doing music then. Man, I was the house. Listen, I used to be a chef, right? So I was the house MC at this club called Yin Yang. They actually did a movie about it called Spring and Third. It's out right now, actually. And I was with a band called The Chronicle, which was Lil Jon the drummer, Avery Johnson, who did Neva Scared, Phil Davis, L Rock, and Billy Oldham, right? One of the baddest bands assembled in the world, right? And they would go out on these tours. Lil Jon toured with Janet Jackson, Michael, George Duke. Man, these guys are monstrous. But I'll be in the kitchen, and club hold about 200 people, tight. There'd be like 400 people in there, right? And I would come out from the back of there and work on the music, man. I've been performing on stage, man, for 30 years. 30 years. So by the time people saw me, we Neva Scared, they was like, man, this guy's seasoned. Who is this dude? It felt like I came from nowhere, right? But I didn't. I was already in Atlanta. I was already famous in Atlanta. I was already famous right here. Man, 7 years of that. 7 years of performing on stage with the baddest band in the world, right? And just MCing, freestyling over beats. But I wouldn't freestyle like the normal 16 or better. I would freestyle songs. So I'll write a hook, go out the hook, do verses, go right back into the hook, and then make a song out of it. Get off the stage with my greasy, dirty apron, go right back in the kitchen and start cooking again. I'll do that. I do that every Thursday. I'll do that. Then Tuesday was at Oxygen in Buckhead.
Yeah.
Tuesday we do Oxygen Buckhead in the back.
Ancient Atlanta.
Yeah. But I used to bodyguard Tip, man, and back to that. I used to bodyguard Tip, and I had I did the verses, I did the verse and the hook, and I had called Tip. He was right around the corner at Matt Boney's auntie's spot. They had a studio in the back of it. I told Tip, I said, hey man, I got this record, man, come check it out. I said, matter of fact, let me come get you. So I drove and got him. He was literally about 2 miles from where I was at. Went and got him. He came over. He was sick. He had a cold, so his voice had changed. His voice had went down a decibel. So when he did his verse, he didn't even write it. He just listened to it. And he went in and did it, right? Yeah, he don't write. He didn't write nothing. He didn't write nothing down.
You know, usually when I hear people say that shit,
right,
I be thinking that's some bullshit.
Nah, ain't no bullshit. He didn't write nothing.
He just heard the beat.
He heard the beat. He went in.
You saw it.
I was sitting right there watching him do it.
In real time, from one
real
to
time. Tip is a genius on everything I love.
Wow.
Yeah. Tip's a genius. So, so he did his verse, man. When he did it, I was like, that's crazy. He said, man, what you think? I was like, bro, that's crazy. I said, I don't know what this gonna do, but it's about to do something. He was like, yeah, I feel that one too, huh? I said, yeah, it's gonna be out here, I think. I don't ever say that, right? Because, you never know.
You never know.
You never know. But, man, next thing I knew, that record was swelling. I would take it around to all the DJs in the city, and I gave it to JD right for the Atlanta All-Star game in 2002, I think. And I didn't even sell it to him. I was like, hey man, check it out. But I know JD for years before that though, because I drew the street logo for So Def, and not the Afro Man that skips, but the other one, the graffiti one. And I gave it to JD. He was, man, next thing I know, JD had a radio show called So Def Radio, and he was like, yo, man, if y'all can find Bonecrusher, this is about to be the biggest record in the planet. Man, he played it about 50 times, back to back. I was like, oh man, I appreciate it, man. Once again, I was already famous, so I never got caught up in it like that. And I wasn't really doing it for that either. I was doing it for the love of music, and I always have, man. I don't be thinking about money like that. Nah, I never thought about money like that. I've always been on the groove, and the music, and the sound, man. If I can get music in my life, man, that's all I need. Real talk. I take music for food, and I like to eat. Real talk. I had told my wife, I said, hey, babe, if it came down to me, you, or music, you in trouble. She just bust out laughing. She said, I already know, and I understand. So that's it. Like, I like music more than anything, bro. Let's just be honest with you, anything, bro. And I love my wife, but my music.
But you dead ass serious.
I'm dead serious.
You felt that, J-Bo?
My music, bro. That's like me telling you I can live without my heart, right? It ain't nothing against nothing. It's just that I have to have it. It's my drug, and in a good way, because it keeps me in a wonderful zen space. And but I tell you, man, it's always been for me. It's always been about music. I never really think about money like that. I let money take care of itself, right? I ain't never worked a day in my life. You know, after Neva Scared, I ain't had a job, a 9-to-5 job since then, because I've always loved and respected the foundation of my life, which is music. So I've always had musical jobs like writing, doing radio, or singing on hooks for people, writing hooks, writing verses for people. I've always been doing that for years, bro, years. And I made a pretty good living off of it. You know, I got platinum plaques all the way down the walls. So it's you know, it's been a great life, man. And you know, but you know, Neva Scared was just the beginning. And if you listen to the whole first album of Attention, it's the same ideology, unrealized, but realized on this new project I got coming out. Because I did that album I did the whole album in
98?
No, 2002, 2003. I did an album in a month.
Yes, you're right.
I did a whole album in a month.
Right. Oh, wow. The whole album in a month.
1 month, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I did a whole album in 1 month. I wrote all that stuff in 1 month. I had no choice because the record was blowing up, so we had to have an album. So I did a whole album in a month. So, you know, I was fortunate to get Lil Jon on there, China White, and a few others, you know, Lady Ice and Break 'Em Off. Shouts out to Dan Brown, man. Break 'Em Off, man. You know, Dan Brown is to me one of the realest people I know. He's one of the guys. He is the guy that signed me first.
Mm.
Then we end up signing So Def. But shouts out to Break 'Em Off, man. You know, Dan Brown is a genuine spirit and a great person.
Mm.
Yeah, man, real talk.
Eels of the game. What could you do without?
What could I do without?
What could you do without when it comes to the music business?
Lying motherfuckers. I could do without lies. Shit. I could do without clowns. You know. You know what I really could do without? People that don't love it, doing it for the hustle. That's really what I could do without. Because we as artists know this. In any genre, whatever you're doing, interviewer or whatever, you're up and down, right?
It's up and down.
But you depend on those that's coming in, tagging. You tag them, right? You get. You're depending on them to have a certain type of stature of the way they present their product, right? In order for you to be able to come back, because if their product is here, you won't be able to come back, right? Because nobody wants to come to your jargon of what it is because they think everything is garbage in that era, right? So I just hate when people jump in the music business and do it for the money, because this ain't a money thing. This is a feeling, a vibe, a love, a synergy, and a vibe. I said it again, a vibe, man. When you do it for the love of what it is, money seems to come to you in abundance, because you're doing it for what it is, and I'm not doing it for the residual of it. And that's the one thing I can do without, man. People that don't love music. There's a lot of them out here doing it now, man. They don't love it. They're just doing it for the look of it, for the whatever they can get out of it. And they're destroying. I won't say they're destroying, but they are
Diluting.
Diluting. Good word. They're diluting greatness that could, and it pushes aside the people that really want to do it. Like some of you guys on 16 and better, them guys are hungry. I want more hungry rappers. I want more hungry singers, more hungry composers, more hungry producers that really just want to do it. They sit in their room all day, man, with nothing to eat, eating hot dogs and Big Macs and fries and garbage food, and they doing this and they smoking blunts and they trying to figure it out and they don't know and they're going crazy, but the only thing that calms them is this energy, right? This energy calms them, puts them in a space of zen, and then when they finally get a shot, it's beautiful. It changed their whole life, right? I remember this picture of Kanye, man, when he was in a room just making a beat, man. And I'm looking at the pureness of it. I'm like, man, look at this dude, man. That's a guy that's hungry, that really wants it, that really deserves it. and he's being rewarded for it right now. And it's, say what you want to say, man. Kanye's a genius, and I think that it's a lot of guys like Dr. Dre, genius. DJ Toomp to me is a genius.
Yes, he is.
Right. Drummer Boy is a genius.
Yes, he is.
Jazzy Faye, a genius.
Yes, he is.
You know, and these are, to me, guys that just have the it factor. And the reason why they have the it factor, because they just sit around and just vibe all day. And they're not doing it for money. They're doing it for the love of it. So their lifestyle reflects it. Right? Man, to answer your question, man, again and again and again, that's it. I'm tired of people that don't do it for the love of it. That's what I can do without. Everything else is whatever. That's all. But do it for the love, man. And that'll figure everything out. If you do it for what you do it for love, man, you know, it is what it is.
Best advice you ever got, and who did you get it from?
The best advice I ever got my grandfather, a pop. Right?
You consistent with this.
Oh yeah, this don't stop.
Yeah, this family time right here.
Yeah. I believe in family all day.
Yeah, you do.
Ask anybody around me, ask any artist I've ever helped, ask any artist I've been associated with. All I do is try to figure out how to help people, right? And I get that from my grandparents and my dad, right? So I'm gonna tell you my best advice I ever got was from my pop. I'll tell you a story, man. I just came from the studio working with Too Short. Shouts out to Too Short, man. And God bless Too Short, man. But he was working on an album called Northeast, South, and West. I think the name of it was News, I think. And we had just finished a remix of Getting It with that band I'm telling you about called The Chronicle.
Okay.
Right? It's actually my very first platinum plaque was I got it from Too Short, man. Once again, shouts out to the great Too Short, bro. And Short saw me in the studio. No, Short saw me at a club, Oxygen, perform with the band, like I always do on Tuesday night. And he walked up, he said, listen, I want y'all to come do a remix to my Getting It record because, you know, this is crazy. This energy is crazy, right? So I was like, bet, no problem. So I tell the band, you know, I said, Lil Jon, Short wants us to do, he said, man, whatever. So we go over to Oaktown Studios, which is right over Oakland City. This back in the 90s, early 90s. And it's on album 10. And we at the studio, man, till about, we go in as daytime, we come out as daytime the next day. So I come home, I'm not even home, well, it's not the next day, but I come home about 6 o'clock in the morning. I gotta be back to the studio at 10 o'clock because we're doing a record for the North, East, West, and South News album for Short, right? For the album. And Lyrical Giants, shouts out to Cotton and Beezer. And PK did the beat, that's crazy. Shouts out to Ken. And I'm leaving the house. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning, man. And I be hearing this from my parents all day, like, what you doing with that hip hop, BBD bop? Man, you need to find a job, you need to do something, you know, because I don't trust it, blah, blah, blah. Like, I get it, Pop, but this is all I know. I get it, Grandma, this is all I know. I found it. Like, you know, when you find something, it's like you find the perfect, whatever it is. You find the perfect woman, and you find the perfect space, the perfect energy. You're like, that's it. There's nothing else but that. And that's what it was for me when I found music, man. And it all came crystal clear to me when I was right around the early 90s, when I was like, yo, man, this is it, because I feel it so much. But my grandparents would tell me, and my uncles and everybody, because they worried about me. Like, you know, what you gonna do, man? You know, everybody else is in college. You know, my family is all scholars, you know. Duke, the AUC over at Clark, shouts out to the AUC. Morehouse, either that or military, right? So they looking at me like, so what you gonna do with your life? You gotta realize in the 90s, Atlanta was not Atlanta like it is now. There is a something they could see to say, okay, yeah, I see where you're going with this. There ain't none of that. There's no music business. So I walk outside And my grandpa says to me, he says, "Hey, where you going?" I said, "Oh man." Oof. I said, "Pa, I'm gonna go back to the studio." He said, "Where you going?" I said, I'm about to go back to the studio." Once again, I respect this man, and I love him to death, and I don't ever want to let him down. And he says, "Your grandma got you up?" I said, "Nah. Did an alarm clock wake you up? I said, "No." He said, "You just out here by yourself. You just got up and did it, huh?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "You did, huh?" I said, "Yeah. No, my grandpa's slim, little. I'm big at this. I'm yoked. But this guy to me is like, Hercules, And I'm like, yeah. He says, "Best advice ever I got. Don't ever let nobody stop you." I said, "What?" He said, "You need to be doing that. Because you got up by yourself with no alarm clock. I think you found it. You should never, ever let nobody stop you. Period." I said, "Oh yeah?" He said, "Grandson, I think you found it. He said, "I'm proud of you." He said, "Go do it." Man, let me tell you something, bro. I almost ran to the bus stop, bro. I was so happy, man. I floated to the goddamn bus stop. Bro, I was in there, I was like, "Man, my pop said I did it." That, for me, that's the best and only advice I follow to this day. Period. I don't care what nobody, I don't heard a whole bunch of people speak. A lot of people that we know, it's like, man, I hear you talking, bro, but I ain't paying attention to that. My pop told me that I should never stop. So I never stop, man. And whether or not I'm doing music or I'm connecting people or I'm helping people, I'm always gonna be in the energy of the synergy of humans and music. That's just me, period. Like, there ain't nothing else gonna stop that, man. And, even with our consulting firm, the wife and me, man, the story of me, we've helped so many artists get so much money, man. Right? We've helped so many young artists, man, in the beginning of their careers, man. Like, we helped Miss Mulatto. We helped a lot of artists, worked with a lot of artists, man. I don't like saying names, but I like Mulatto, so I said Mulatto. Mulatto's a star, a superstar.
Superstar.
Yeah. Shouts out to Shane and the wife and but it's we've always touched people's lives, and when we get through with them, they've always come out of the end happy. Whether or not they reach back or retort or reciprocate, I guess that wasn't the actual goal. It wasn't a goal. The goal was to help, and that's what I did. I helped everybody I've been around.
You found that's your purpose, is to pour.
At the beginning, yeah.
It don't feel good.
No, I mean, it feels good. Cause
now I'm talking about the parts that don't feel good.
Right.
Because sometimes you're pouring from an empty glass.
Right.
But who pours back into you?
There you go. You got it. And that's why when we first started, my circle was this big, bro. You can't even see through it good, because I'm only dealing with people that are like me now. And that's why my life is here, right? Instead of being resentful or being bitter. Well, I won't be bitter. I'm not bitter, because that ain't what I did it for. But just being, I won't say resentful is a terrible word too. Just why?
You can resent some.
Why? I mean, why? I mean, like, it's like, why is this happening when I did it? It was for the love of it, right? So it was nothing to get nothing back. So that meant that I didn't get nothing back because I didn't do it for that, right? But it's like, now that I'm doing it, I do it for the people that I feel that are worthy of it and will retort, right? And I'm like, man, you know what? I'm worthy of love just like everybody else is worthy.
It ain't nothing wrong with that either.
It's
not
not
selfish.
Come on.
It ain't selfish.
It's self-full.
It's self-full. Yeah, exactly. And you gotta look out for you.
You gotta do.
You gotta look out for
You can't pour out of empty. Like you said earlier, you can't pour out an empty glass.
Nah. You gotta fuck with people that's fucking with you, man.
The man 1,000.
Yeah. It ain't. It's nothing wrong with it too. It took me a long time to realize that I was loyal to everybody but myself.
And that puts you in a bad space.
It put you in a very bad space and whatnot, and it has you in a dark space where, you know, sometimes you'll disappear. And we was talking about this yesterday,
Right.
about disappearing and not even know that you disappeared.
Right.
And then until somebody keeps on saying, "Where you been?" What the fuck you mean where I been?
Right.
I've been consistent, but you didn't know that you was in your sunken place at that time, trying to fighting to get back up and be that person that they wanted you to be, or they remember.
You absolutely correct, man. It's like I would go out of my way, and you seem like the same kind of person. I would go out of my way, and I still do this day because I can't help who I am. I would go out of my way with ideas to help people, right? And be like, you know what, man? You know, if you did this, and this, oh, you win. Not only that, I'm gonna hook you up with the job, right? Not me talking to you. I'm gonna go get you the job, right? I'm gonna hook you up with the people you say you want, right? And I'm gonna do it like this, right? And I'm gonna I'm gonna take you every step. And you sure you want to do this? Yeah. Man, I go do it. Next thing I know, they superstars out here else from ever again. It's like, man, well, wait a minute. We're supposed to be, we're not supposed to leave each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem with
But were we ever together?
Well, there you go.
You have to go.
This goes back to the narcissism.
Yeah.
People go, they use you up, and then they discard.
But you know what? We have a perception too.
Yeah.
You know, whether we know it or not, on how certain relationships look, but it's through our lenses.
Right.
But if you from these other people's perspective and the way they look at you,
Yeah.
it's not the same thing.
No.
And you kind of gotta really like gauge that shit too from every relationship that you run into and say, man, hold on, are these people here with me, or are they just in the room with me?
They are just in the room with you.
They're just in the room with you and y'all bouncing ideas, and there's nothing more to them. They had no intentions on ever of growing with you. And if you listen to the conversation back over, when you replay it in their mind, it wasn't no teamwork in that shit at all.
No.
It was just like, they was agreeing with you and going on with the conversation.
Yeah. Because they wanted what they want out of it.
Yeah.
And you know, the thing about it though, Jack, you've got people that'll take great ideas, right, from you or from whoever, and run with the idea, and you be like, hey man, listen, that was my idea. And then they'll tell other people that they came with the damn idea.
Yeah.
And you be like, hey, wait a second, motherfucker, wait a minute, what's happening here?
What's going on right
What's going on? You didn't do
Twilight
nothing.
Zone.
What's happening, right?
Yeah.
And I used to run into that a lot, bro. I'd be like, man, I gotta stop doing this shit. I gotta stop helping motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
People, I won't call them people because people is a something that I respect. Robots, these robots.
I call them aliens myself.
Well, same thing. These people, these robots are the kind of robots that are information grabbers, and they regurgitate information, and they don't. I told somebody something. I gave an analogy last night. I was talking to a good friend of ours, and the problem with us is, Jack, is that we do this. We'll run, jump in the pool or in the ocean. We'll run, jump in the ocean. Pow! And a big wave will come through, right? And it ride for a while, right? Tidal wave. Then a whole bunch of people jump over the surfboard. Jump on the surfboard, right? They surfing on in, right? But the people way on the other end didn't see who made the splash. They just see the surfers. So they say, oh man, look at the way they surfing on that wave. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, those guys are great. But they're not paying attention to the wave, right? So what you have to start doing now is splashing by yourself. So all they pay attention to is the wave. They don't pay attention to the surfers. The surfers get all the point. You ever notice when you see surfers on waves, they don't be like, man, look at the wave. Then they say, look at that guy. When they see a big old wave and then some guy come rolling out the water. Oh shit, look at this guy in the wave. Oh man, he's riding it. It ain't about the wave no more. Now the surfer.
Oh shit.
The surfer now. The surfer's the man.
Okay.
You know? The surfer. The wave is the motherfucker that's riding this motherfucker, but the surfer is the guy now. Well, look at the surfer. Look at him.
He just on the fucking wave.
He just on the wave. He didn't even create it. He just on the wave. You know how many cats that roll the wave? When I splashed.
Shit.
Come on, man. When you splashing, brother, you making the wave. They riding the wave. And they ain't looking back.
They ain't looking back.
Because they can't look back. Because they didn't create the splash. If they look back, they might fall.
They
What
might
happens
fall.
when they fall?
They need a wave crusher.
Right. All they see is the wave
Yeah.
again. Then they say, oh, now the guy that made the wave. Now look at it. Oh, I didn't know. Come on, man. Come on, Jack. That's just real. That's real. That's real. You know, it's a lot of people out here like that, man. You just gotta. That's why you can't allow people no more. I know you probably like this.
Go for it.
You can't allow people no more to ride your wave. Because your wave is yours. And that's why I'm doing this new project. My wave is mine now. I ain't let none of these motherfuckers ride my wave no more. It's just me. So when people see it, they're gonna be like, whoo, I never knew Bonecrusher was like that. When people hear my album, they be like, man, who was that rapping? I'm like, man, that's me. What? Bro, yeah, I know you can rap like that. Because you didn't see the wave in the first album. All this stuff is on my first album, but all you saw was the surfers. You didn't see the wave, but you saw the wave, but you didn't see it. You was like, oh shit, this guy, woo-wee, woo-wee. Now here come these surfers. Oh man, they're just riding the wave. Now it's time for me to recreate another wave. But this wave is just me. Watch it. I want y'all to understand what's coming.
Bro, you just blessed me. Cause I was asking God about my wave. And then while I was like, I kept on telling people, hey, nigga, just ride the fucking wave. You gonna get there, but they not doing the shit that I told them to do in order for me to, know what I'm saying, make the wave stronger. Right. You gotta add on to the fucking wave if you gonna ride the motherfucker, man. I can't do the shit by I can do it by myself. Right. But you're irritating my shit if you're not contributing to the fucking wave. Right. And but you brought it all to perspective for me. I know what the fuck. I know what I'm doing now.
Hey man, that's what it is.
I know what I'm doing. Yeah.
That's what it is, man. You know, you're a good guy, man. That's the reason why I came in here, man. I ain't doing no interviews with nobody yet. But you know, I saw you on Beehive. Beehive is my brother. You know, and Norm, City, and Music is they're my brothers. And you know, when you asked me to come in, I was like, man, sure, no problem.
Man, I sure appreciate you blessing me like this, man. Like I said, boy, it's been a long time coming.
I know, man.
Long time coming, man. I feel like we've been friends. I feel like I met you before, but I'm just realizing I'm meeting you now. It's like you know somebody, but you don't know somebody, but you've been family the whole time.
Hey, man, I'm always family, bro.
Dig.
If you got melanin in your skin, I'm your brother.
Dig.
Leave it.
100%, man. You really poured into me today. Hey, something that just happened. Real big. We just talked about Buddy earlier. Kanye West. He said that the Atlanta started to change when Bonecrusher came in the door. With Neva Scared. Right. Now, when he said that? You know, a lot of people always talk about giving people their flowers all the time, and people talk about what facts is and shit all the time. Like, did you ever feel that way? And was you expecting that type of accolade and acclaim?
I mean, you know. I'm gonna tell you something.
Cause you can say what you did all day. Yeah. But then when a certain person say it, you know how that shit be.
Yeah. I mean, it's always good for someone else to say something about you, right? You're never the king in your own household, right? And I think that a lot of times people, because of the wave, nobody would say that about me, right? Because I'm a splasher. I make the wave. And when I make the wave, it's kind of difficult for surfers to give accolades to the creative wave, right? And I thank Kanye for saying that because, like he said, he's an observer of the game. You know, he said he like LeBron. He said, I'm like Scotty. I'm like Jordan. I'm watching the game, right? And I'm like, man, I can't believe he noticed it like that. Because most people outside of the bubble sees everything inside of the bubble. You know, it's like when you watching a football game on TV, like, man, if he just ran down that A gap right there, bro, he'd been gone. But he in the field of play, so he don't see nothing, right? And that's how it is when you in the field of play. I think me and Kanye had a conversation. I don't know if he remembers this. Me and Kanye had a conversation at Summer Jam on the side of the stage. I think it was the third time I performed the Summer Jam. I think Lil Jon, it was me, Lil Jon, and Sean Paul, Jamaican Sean Paul. And Kanye was talking to me on the side of the stage. We just sitting there talking with him. He said, man, so how did y'all do it? How'd you do it, man? Like, I'm watching you. How'd you do it? I was like, man, I just feel like brothers need to be blessed. So anytime anybody would ask me about me, at the time, I'm the biggest rapper besides 50 in the game, right? New rapper. And anytime I was on High or BLS or any of the stations up north, they be asking about me, like, boom, so what's going on with you, man? Blah, 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 blah. I said, man, you know, it's cool, man. I'm doing my thing. But make sure you watch out for T.I., Killer Mike, David Banner, Young Bloods, Yin Yang Twins. I just kept naming people over and over and over again. And people were like, man, I ain't never heard of them. I'm like, man, let me tell you something. These brothers are dope. And you need to look out for them. At that point, in my younger years, I knew that it had to be a collective effort for us to be able to move on the wave, right? So I would say, well, listen, this is how we're going to do it. We should do it like this. And a lot of cams, I wouldn't even say that. I'd just be talking about people, right? I'm just talking. So Kanye was like, man, right? I said, yeah, let me tell you something. The way you do it is you grab a whole bunch of people from your area in the Midwest and you bring them with you. You know, this is a brotherhood. We all brothers. We need to work together. We need to work together, man. Like, work together. I was just talking crazy back then. I was wild. Man, we need to work together. You know, we work together. You know, this is what it's about. And I just ran out on stage with Lil Jon and did it. And I don't think Kanye even remember the conversation, man. But I don't know if I subliminally helped him bring something that he was already thinking in his head. Next thing I know, he's signing Common, he's signing John Legend, he signed Big Sean, you know. And it was like, I was like, man, I wonder. I said, nah, Kanye's got his own mind. He know what he's doing. I said, but you never know. You know, you never know. You know. And I think that if it was from our conversation, I'm so happy because that's what I believe in. And anytime any artist would ask me, I would go to any state, any city around the country. It would be LA, Chicago, Cleveland, Minneapolis, Houston, Dallas, Birmingham, you know, wherever I was at. And they would ask me the same question, man, so how y'all do all that in Atlanta? I said, man, we came together. And we did it all together. But actually, I'm doing it all together. I just kept talking about bringing everybody together. And I just kept doing it, kept saying it, bringing people on stage, talking about people. And not what it was about, man. I believe in brotherhood. I believe in helping our brothers, right? If anybody knows me, know that about me. In my heart of hearts, all I want to do is, if I could do it, is bring our people together in a structured environment so we can all be wealthy, spiritually, mentally, and financially. That's it. That's it. And if a Kanye to say that from the outside, I was like, man, that is wow. I can't believe he would say that. But I can because the guy is very perceptive. He can see more than most people can see. And to his point, he's transparent in it. Right? He understands it, what he's going through. He understands what he's feeling. And for him to just say that about me, I was like, wow, that's dope. I really appreciate it. You know, I didn't do it for that, but I thank him. You know, ain't nobody around my circle gonna say that. You know what I mean? So it was dope for somebody of his caliber to say that. And thank the brother. He's on camera. Thank you, Ye.
And as a matter of, you know, this once again, we talking about 2003.
Yeah.
And we are in 2021. Like a month. Yeah, and he recognized the shift.
Yeah.
the shift.
It was a shift.
It was, you know what I remember about this one particular night when it was playing Neva Scared over and over and over again?
Right.
It was something else that happened, but it was kind of tragic. It was my man Cujo.
Oh, Cujo Goody.
Yeah, he had lost his leg.
Oh, yeah.
I was in the gym, and they was playing your song over and over, and it was this just in,
right,
and whatnot, and things. I was like, damn, this nigga's life about to change. Then music started to change. It was just a wave.
Yeah. You know, Atlanta went through waves, right? Went through splashes, if you will. You know, we went from the Mojo stages, Kilo, Raheem the Dream,
MC
Shadi, Ghetto Mafia. We went through all those phases, right? In Atlanta's music scene.
Ghost Town DJs.
Yeah, Ghost Town DJs. A lot of people, man, you know. And it became a culture in itself that helped raise me as well, right? And I'm nothing without the influences of those great artists, right? I'm nothing without Shadi, Raheem, The Dream, the Ghetto Mafias, the Hard Boys. These are Atlanta legends, right? And we talked about everything, and we did an origin story that's about to come out with Patchwork. Crusher Consulting, which is our company, and Kurt at Patchwork, we did this origin story talking about the beginning and an in-depth look into the real Atlanta scene of how it all came about, man. And it was very uplifting to me and opened up a lot of doors in my head. Like, whoa, I see why I like the type of sound I like, because these guys are just genius, man. And it was a lot of that going. You know, Organized Noise came and Outkast and their greatness, and Goody Mob and Sleepy and Rico and Ray, and you know, and then Neva Scared hit. But Neva Scared was a record that had 3 unknown people on it, right? T.I., Killer Mike, and Bonecrusher, that nobody knew. We came out of nowhere to them, and it was a powerful, transparent energy that will never go away, because it was done out of love, really. You got 3 guys that did it just because they wanted to do it. It wasn't no money involved or nothing. We just did it, and it became legendary because of the fact that we felt that way about it at that time. I mean, everybody's prospering right now too. You know, and I'm happy that I was able to be a part of their early career at a time when we all needed it. Not just me, they all needed it too. And it was a great moment in Atlanta history to be able to catapult all of us in a space. And I didn't forget about it. That's why I kept talking about everybody. I was so grateful that we were all together, man. It was just kind of like dope. And now that we all up, everybody's doing their thing. But at that moment, man, we were all hungry, eating bologna sandwiches, drinking Coke 45, and doing all kind of crazy stuff. But you know, I'm just thankful for the ride, man. It's time to make another wave, though. I'm about to come back on these motherfuckers.
Man, I can't wait to see it, baby.
You better believe it, Jack.
There it is, man. I'm gonna be right there. Hey, man, is there anything you want to say to JackThriller.com before we get up out here, bro?
Man, I'm just thankful to be here, man. Look out for my album. I can't tell you the name of it, but because I'm still working on the title of it. But I'd like to thank all the producers on the album. DJ Toon, Jazzy, Drummer Boy, Krispy Kreme, Israel Beats, Question. I like to thank and Magneto. I like to thank all those producers for believing in the energy and sound that I'm coming with. I want to thank the love of music for allowing me to be a part of a wonderful groove. And I want to thank you, Jack, for having me, man. And I really appreciate being here.
There it is. My man, thank you, man. Yeah. Love. It's Van Glorious interview.
Van Glorious.
Yeah, okay. Hold on, before you go, how did you come up with that word?
I did not come up with that.
That's a real word?
Yeah.
Did you?
glorious, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Man, that came from the great Professor X from X Clan, right? Brother J, and rest in peace to the great Professor X from X Clan. I told you I'm a student of hip hop.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, that's where I got that from.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
You reintroduced it.
Yeah, man. You know, I respect. You know, I respect people. So that's what it is.
That's what's up, man. You just put me on, man.
Hey, man.
Now I know.
Yeah, man.
Now this cousin reminds me of The Rock with the word jabroni.
Yeah.
And
jabroni.
he said he got jabroni from what's my man name from Iraq? Sheik, Iron Sheik.
Oh, the Iron Sheik, yeah.
Yep, he used to say jabroni all the time, and of course since Rock was a kid,
Right,
growing up around him,
yeah.
I'm like, get the out of here.
Right.
Set it on fire.
Yeah, man.
And you set the word on fire. You took it to another level.
We about to burn it down now.
Okay.
Until we're gonna burn it down to vegetable ashes and make it grow back again.
I love it. I love it. Well, there it is, man. Like I always say, you just can't say you real or something. You gotta be, man. We over and we gotta hear Bonecrusher, man. Hey, y'all go to commercial and don't kiss the moles in the mouth unless you got to.
About to go thriller, Jack Thriller on these niggas. All I need's a fucking red jacket with some zippers.
Hey, yo, what's up? This your boy 50 Cent, right? A motherfucking nigga Jack Thriller coming to a city near you.